Welcome to our first bonus module. Now that you've learned about all the traditional preschool options, let's explore some alternatives that are becoming increasingly popular with families who want something a little different. These options aren't for everyone, but for the right families, they can be absolutely perfect. Nature preschools. Let's start with nature preschools because these programs are having a real moment right now, and for good reason. Also called forest schools or outdoor schools, these programs turn the natural world into the primary classroom. We're not talking about occasional nature walks. We're talking about spending the majority of each day outside, rain or shine. The philosophy behind nature preschools is beautifully simple. Children have an innate connection to the natural world that modern life often disrupts. By spending significant time outdoors, children develop environmental awareness, physical confidence, and a sense of wonder that's hard to replicate in traditional indoor settings. Here's what a typical day might look like. Children arrive and immediately head outside to explore. They might build forts with fallen branches, create art with natural materials, observe insects and birds, or engage in unstructured play in wooded areas. Teachers facilitate learning through nature-based activities like measuring trees, collecting leaves for sorting, or observing seasonal changes. The benefits are pretty remarkable. Children in nature programs often show improved gross motor skills, better immune systems from outdoor exposure, and enhanced creativity from working with open-ended natural materials. They develop risk assessment skills from navigating uneven terrain and climbing trees, and they often show increased focus and reduced anxiety compared to children in more structured indoor programs. Who thrives in nature preschools? Active children who need lots of physical movement absolutely love these programs. Kids who are drawn to exploration and discovery are in their element. Children who might struggle with traditional classroom expectations often flourish when learning happens through outdoor play. The challenges are real though. Weather becomes a major factor. You need serious rain gear and winter clothing. Some children struggle with the less structured environment or feel overwhelmed by the unpredictability of outdoor spaces. And parents sometimes worry about academic preparation since traditional pre-literacy activities might take a backseat to outdoor exploration. Costs for nature preschools vary widely. Some are expensive private programs that cost as much as traditional Montessori or Waldorf schools. Others are offered through parks departments or environmental organizations at more moderate costs. The equipment requirements, proper outdoor clothing for all weather, can be a significant additional expense. Homeschool preschool. Now let's talk about homeschool preschool, which is exactly what it sounds like, parents providing preschool education at home. This option has grown tremendously, especially since the pandemic showed many families that they could successfully facilitate their children's learning. The biggest advantage of homeschool preschool is complete customization. You can follow your child's interests, move at their pace, and incorporate your family's values and priorities without compromise. You can combine elements from different educational philosophies, maybe some Montessori materials with Waldorf-inspired arts and crafts and nature-based learning. For families with multiple children, homeschool preschool can be incredibly cost-effective. Instead of paying tuition for multiple kids, you're investing in materials and resources that can be used by all your children over time. You also have complete control over schedule, which can be helpful for families with non-traditional work arrangements or frequent travel. The time commitment is substantial though. Providing quality preschool education requires planning, preparation, and sustained energy. You need to create structured learning experiences while also being available for those teachable moments that arise naturally, and you're giving up the break that traditional preschool provides for parents. Socialization is often a concern with homeschool preschool. You'll need to be intentional about providing opportunities for your child to interact with peers through playgroups, library programs, community activities, or informal co-ops with other homeschooling families. Resources for homeschool preschool are abundant now. You can find complete curriculum packages, individual activity ideas, and online communities for support. The cost can range from very minimal if you use library books and free resources to several $100s if you invest in comprehensive curricula and materials. Nanny shares. Nanny shares are becoming increasingly popular, especially in expensive urban areas where traditional preschool costs are astronomical. The concept is simple. 2 or 3 families share the cost of hiring a nanny who cares for their children together, either rotating between homes or using one family's home as the primary location. The advantages are significant. You get the individualized attention of in-home care with the socialization benefits of group care. The child-to-caregiver ratio is excellent, usually no more than 4 or 5 children total. You have input into the caregiver selection and can ensure they align with your family's values and approaches. Cost-wise, nanny shares can be more economical than high-end preschools while providing more personalized care. Instead of paying a full nanny salary yourself, you're splitting it with other families. The total cost per family often ends up being comparable to or less than premium preschool programs. The challenges revolve around logistics and relationships. You need to find compatible families who share similar approaches to discipline, nutrition, screen time, and other parenting decisions. Scheduling can be complicated when families have different needs or want time off, and you need to handle the employment aspects of hiring a nanny, taxes, insurance, backup care when the nanny is sick. Finding the right nanny for a share situation requires someone who's comfortable managing multiple children of similar ages and can create educational activities appropriate for preschoolers. You want someone with early childhood education experience, not just general childcare experience. The social dynamics between families can make or break a nanny share. Clear communication about expectations, policies, and problem solving is essential. Some families write formal agreements covering everything from sick day policies to how conflicts will be resolved. Drop-in programs. Drop-in programs serve families who need flexible childcare rather than consistent preschool programming. These might be offered through community centers, gyms, religious organizations, or private businesses. Parents can use them occasionally for appointments, work emergencies, or just personal time. The flexibility is the main advantage. You use them when you need them without ongoing commitments. They're often less expensive per session than traditional preschool when calculated hourly. And they can be great supplements to other arrangements, providing socialization opportunities for children who are primarily at home. The downside is that children don't develop the consistent relationships and routines that support deeper learning. The staff might not know your child well, and the other children change from session to session. These programs are usually focused on safe supervision and basic activities rather than educational development. Quality varies enormously in drop-in programs. Some are well-staffed with trained early childhood educators and age-appropriate activities. Others are basically babysitting services with minimal programming. Visit and observe before using any drop-in program and trust your instincts about the environment and staff. Pre-K in public schools. Many families don't realize that public school pre-K programs are becoming more widely available. These programs are typically free or very low cost and follow educational standards designed to prepare children for kindergarten success. The advantages are obvious: cost and quality educational programming developed by professional educators. Public pre-K programs often have excellent resources, trained teachers, and clear learning objectives. They're designed to serve diverse populations and often have experience supporting children with different needs and backgrounds. The challenges include limited availability and strict eligibility requirements. Many programs prioritize children from low-income families or those with identified developmental needs. Some are only half-day programs, which doesn't meet the needs of working families, and the classroom sizes might be larger than in private programs. Application processes for public pre-K can be competitive and confusing. Start researching early. Many programs have application deadlines months before the school year begins. Some use lottery systems, while others have first-come, first-served enrollment. Making alternative options work. If you're considering any of these alternatives, think carefully about your family's specific needs and circumstances. Alternative options often require more involvement and coordination from parents. You might need to piece together multiple arrangements to meet your family's scheduling needs. Consider your child's personality and social needs. Some children thrive with the consistency of traditional preschool, while others do better with more variety and flexibility. Think about whether your child needs the structure of regular programming or would benefit from a more individualized approach. Don't underestimate the planning and energy required for alternative arrangements. Homeschool, preschool, nanny shares, and coordinating multiple drop-in programs all require significant parental involvement. Make sure you're realistic about what you can sustainably manage. Many families find that combining approaches works best. Maybe homeschool preschool 3 days a week with a nature program 1 day a week, or a nanny share supplemented with library story times and park district classes, or public pre-K with after-school drop-in care. The growing landscape. These alternative options reflect the growing recognition that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to early childhood education. Families have diverse needs, values, and circumstances that traditional preschool programs might not address perfectly. The key is being honest about your priorities and realistic about your capacity. A nature preschool might sound wonderful, but if you hate being outdoors in bad weather, it's probably not the right choice for your family. Homeschool preschool might save money, but if you're already feeling overwhelmed with parenting responsibilities, adding teacher duties might not be sustainable. What's exciting about these alternatives is that they're expanding the definition of what early childhood education can look like. They're proving that children can learn and thrive in many different environments when their basic needs for safety, love, and appropriate stimulation are met. Whether you choose a traditional preschool or one of these alternatives, the most important factors remain the same: quality relationships with caring adults, opportunities for play and exploration, and experiences that support your child's individual development and interests. These alternatives aren't necessarily better or worse than traditional preschools, they're just different. For some families and children, they're absolutely perfect. For others, a traditional program provides exactly what's needed. The beauty is that you now have options and can choose what works best for your unique situation. Remember, the goal isn't to find the most innovative or impressive option, it's to find what helps your child thrive and supports your family's needs and values. Sometimes that's a cutting-edge nature program, and sometimes it's the neighborhood preschool that's been doing great work for decades. Trust yourself to know the difference.